What I am about to share with you is not an ordinary message. It is a divine moment of awakening. If you are here, it is not by accident. Something greater than yourself has guided you to this point in time. You were led here for a purpose, and that purpose is connected to a powerful spiritual transformation that is about to take place in your life. You may feel tired, confused, or unsure about why certain things happened. But the truth is, nothing in your journey has been wasted. Every experience, every challenge, every quiet tear has been preparing you for something extraordinary. Right now, the world is moving in a fast and uncertain direction. Many people are losing their inner light, their peace, and their connection to truth. But you are different. You were chosen to rise above what the world is facing. You were chosen to carry light, love, and healing. You have been marked for something sacred. This message is your sign. It is a spiritual signal that something is about to shift, and you are being invited to be a part of it. Do not ignore it. Open your heart and allow your soul to receive what is coming next. This is more than a video. This is a moment of alignment. A sacred invitation to step into your higher calling. You are not alone. You are seen. You are guided. And you are exactly where you need to be. If this speaks to your spirit, take action. Like this message, subscribe to stay connected. And comment 99 below to declare that you are ready to receive the light, healing, and peace that is waiting for you now. There are moments in life when the wounds we carry are not visible to the eyes of the world. These are not physical wounds. These are the deep spiritual wounds that live in the heart and soul. These wounds come from betrayal, disappointment, rejection, broken relationships, and painful memories that seem to echo again and again in the background of our minds. Many people are walking through life smiling on the outside but feeling broken within. They show up at work, talk with friends, and appear strong. But inside, they are carrying the weight of pain that has never been healed. Some are still holding on to something that happened years ago. A word spoken in anger, a person who left without explanation, or a moment of failure that was never truly forgiven. These hidden wounds are heavy. They affect the way a person thinks, how they respond to love, how they trust others, and how they see themselves. Sometimes these wounds create walls around the heart. A person might say they are fine, but deep down they are afraid to be hurt again, so they keep their guard up. They block out not only the pain, but also the joy that life is trying to give them. Spiritual wounds can also create confusion. You may start asking questions like, "Why did this happen to me?" Or "What did I do to deserve this?" These are real questions, and they come from a heart that longs to understand. But the danger comes when those questions begin to turn into bitterness. When a person stays in the pain too long without healing, they can begin to feel stuck. This is where many chosen souls find themselves today. They have been called by God for something greater, but the pain of the past is still holding on tightly. It is like trying to run a race with chains around your feet. No matter how much you want to move forward, something is always pulling you back. Some wounds are caused by people who never knew how much they hurt you. Others are caused by people who knew, but never cared to fix it. And some wounds are self-inflicted, mistakes you made that you cannot seem to forgive yourself for. But no matter where the wound came from, it is time to acknowledge that it exists. Healing can only begin when you are honest about your pain. It is not weakness to admit that you have been hurt. It is strength. It means you are ready to grow, to evolve, and to live freely again. You were not created to live your entire life in emotional or spiritual pain. That is not your portion. Your soul was made for peace. Your heart was designed to love and be loved. You were created to experience joy, not just survive through the days. Recognizing the spiritual wound is the first step toward true healing. It is an act of courage. It is saying, "Yes, I have been hurt, but I am ready to be whole again. There is no shame in your struggle. Everyone has been wounded in some way. The key is to not let the wound become your identity. You are not your pain. You are not your past. You are not the words that broke you. You are far more than what happened to you. There is healing waiting for you. And it begins with the simple decision to stop pretending and start acknowledging the truth of what your heart has been through. From there, the light can enter and healing can begin. Hear this in your spirit. Release them, and I will release you, says the Lord. Matthew 6 verse 14. For if you forgive others their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is not surrender to the enemy. It is a spiritual key, one that unlocks your peace, your health, your elevation. You've been stuck not because God forgot you, but because unforgiveness is blocking your breakthrough. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful and transformative steps a human being can take on the path to healing. It is not just a feeling or a thought, it is a conscious action. It is a spiritual decision that says, I no longer give this pain the authority to rule my present or shape my future. Many people believe that forgiveness means pretending nothing happened or accepting wrong behavior. But that is not the truth. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting what someone did or pretending the hurt did not affect you. It means choosing to move forward without carrying the heavy burden of anger, bitterness, and resentment in your heart. The process of forgiveness begins with understanding. You must first understand that forgiveness is not for the other person, it is for you. When you choose to forgive, you are not saying that what they did was right. You are simply saying that you value your peace more than holding on to pain. You are choosing your healing over your history. The first step in forgiveness is honesty. You must be honest about what hurt you. You must allow yourself to feel the pain, acknowledge the wound, and give space for your heart to speak. Silence does not heal spiritual wounds. Suppressing the truth only pushes the healing further away. But when you speak honestly with yourself and with God, you begin to open the door to transformation. Once you are honest about what happened, the next step is release. This is where the real power lies. Releasing does not mean you forget. It means you no longer carry the emotional weight of that event. It means you let go of the need for revenge, the desire for apology, and the craving for closure. You may never get those things, but you can still choose to be free. You can speak words like these: I release the pain. I release the person. I release the past. I choose peace. These are not just words. These are spiritual keys. When you declare your release, you are giving heaven permission to begin the healing. Your spirit starts to align with divine peace, and your heart begins to soften. Forgiveness also means facing yourself. Sometimes the hardest person to forgive is the one in the mirror. You may have made mistakes. You may have acted in ways you are not proud of. But you must remember that you are still worthy of love, growth, and new beginnings. Self-forgiveness is necessary for full spiritual healing. If God has already chosen to forgive you, then you must also choose to forgive yourself. The healing process is not always quick. It may take time. Some days the pain might come back. Some days you may feel strong, and other days you may feel weak again. That is normal. Healing is not a straight line. But each time you choose forgiveness, you take another step toward emotional freedom and inner peace. It is also important to ask for divine help. You do not have to do this alone. You can pray, saying, God, I want to forgive, but I am struggling. Help me to release this pain. And you will find that slowly, gently, the weight begins to lift. You are never alone on this path. Divine strength is available to you every step of the way. As you forgive, you will notice something beautiful begin to happen. Your mind becomes clearer. Your heart feels lighter. The heaviness you once carried starts to disappear. Relationships become easier. You smile more naturally. You sleep more peacefully. You feel more connected to your purpose. Forgiveness restores balance to your life. Eventually, what once hurt you becomes your testimony. You will look back and realize that the wound did not break you. It built you. The pain became the lesson. The lesson became wisdom. And the wisdom became the light that now guides your future. Forgiveness is not just about what happened. It is about what can happen now. It is about opening yourself to joy again. It is about walking into rooms without fear. It is about embracing love without doubt. It is about living with a soul that is whole and free. So today, choose forgiveness. Choose healing. Choose to rise above the hurt and walk in peace, because you deserve it. Something beautiful and powerful begins to happen the moment you truly forgive. Forgiveness is not just a mental act, it is a spiritual doorway. When you step through that doorway, your soul experiences a shift, a divine alignment that opens you to new levels of peace, growth, and connection with your higher purpose. After forgiveness, your heart begins to heal. You may not even notice it at first, but there is a gentle softening inside you. The tension in your chest starts to ease. The mental weight you have carried for so long begins to lift. You start breathing more freely, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. This is because forgiveness clears space inside you where love, light, and healing can now enter. The spiritual shift that takes place after forgiveness is deeply transformative. You begin to see yourself and others with new eyes. You no longer feel chained to the events of the past. You no longer live in reaction to old wounds. Instead, you start responding from a place of clarity, compassion, and inner strength. Forgiveness breaks the cycle of emotional and spiritual bondage. When you release the pain and the person who caused it, you also release yourself. You are no longer waiting for someone else to set you free. You become the key to your own freedom. And in that freedom, you will find the power to grow, to love again, and to walk forward with confidence. One of the first things many people notice after true forgiveness is the return of inner peace. This peace is not empty or quiet. It is alive. It is the kind of peace that strengthens you from the inside. It does not mean that life will be perfect, but it means you will no longer be controlled by the emotions of your past. This peace brings focus. It allows your thoughts to become clear and your energy to rise. Your spirit also begins to awaken. When you forgive, you realign with your higher self, the version of you that is connected to divine truth. This alignment allows you to receive wisdom and direction more clearly. You may begin to feel inspired, creative, or deeply moved by spiritual insight. You might hear your inner voice more clearly. You may even notice an increase in synchronicities, those small but powerful moments that show you everything is working in divine timing. Forgiveness also opens the door for blessings. Sometimes the only thing standing between you and a breakthrough is an unforgiven heart. When you let go, you make room for new relationships, new opportunities, and new energy to enter your life. The old pain no longer blocks the flow. Blessings that were waiting now have space to find you. You also become a channel of healing for others. Your story becomes a light for someone else. When people see how you have forgiven and healed, they feel hope for their own journey. You carry a new energy, an energy of grace, of freedom, of peace. People feel it when they are near you, even if they cannot explain it. You become a vessel for divine love. Forgiveness deepens your spiritual connection with God. When you forgive, you are walking in alignment with divine love and truth. You begin to experience more joy in your prayers, more peace in your thoughts, and more courage in your steps. You realize that you are not alone. You are guided. You are supported. You are deeply loved. The journey after forgiveness is not always easy, but it is always worth it. There may be moments when the pain tries to return, but you now carry the tools to overcome it. You remember that you have already chosen freedom, and you can choose it again, as many times as needed. Eventually, your life becomes a living testimony of transformation. What once broke you now builds you. What once wounded you now empowers you. Forgiveness is no longer just something you did. It becomes part of who you are, a person of peace, strength, and divine purpose. So as you move forward, do so with an open heart. Let forgiveness continue to lead you. Let it shape your spirit. Let it guide your words and actions. Because through forgiveness, you are not just healed, you are renewed. And in that renewal, you will discover the life you were always meant to live. There is a sacred reward that awaits the one who chooses to heal. When you walk the path of forgiveness and release the burden of pain, you are not just healing yourself, you are aligning with divine truth. And every step taken in truth always leads to reward, not just in spirit, but also in your daily life. This reward is not always instant, but it is always real, and it always arrives right on time. Forgiveness opens the gateway to divine blessing because it reflects the very heart of God. When you forgive, you imitate divine love. You choose peace over pride, compassion over anger, and love over fear. This action does not go unnoticed by the Creator. In fact, heaven celebrates when you forgive, because it means you are rising above the weight of this world and stepping into the light of your divine identity. What awaits you, the healer, is restoration. Everything that was broken begins to come together in a new and powerful way. Relationships that matter may find a second chance. Opportunities that once slipped through your fingers begin to return. The time that was lost in pain begins to be redeemed. You will see that what felt like the end was actually preparation for something greater. There is also a reward of deep inner peace. This peace is not something the world can give, and it is not something the world can take away. It is the kind of peace that carries you through storms and gives you calm in the middle of chaos. When others are shaken, you will stand strong. Not because you have no pain, but because you have allowed love to heal you. That peace becomes your anchor. Another reward is spiritual elevation. When you heal, you grow. When you forgive, you rise. Your inner life becomes more connected, more awake, and more in tune with divine wisdom. You begin to see beyond the surface. You start to understand your purpose more clearly. Decisions become easier because you are no longer driven by wounds but by wisdom. You walk with a quiet authority because you are no longer reacting, you are leading. The healer also begins to attract light. This is not just spiritual light. It is also the light of abundance, joy, and meaningful connection. People will be drawn to your energy, even if they do not know why. You will speak, and your words will carry power. You will move through rooms and bring comfort, healing, and inspiration. Because you have done the work of healing, you now carry the presence of peace. You will also begin to see signs, clear signs, that the universe is responding to your healing. It could be divine encounters, unexpected provision, sudden breakthroughs, or moments of clarity that change everything. These are not coincidences. They are divine confirmations that you are on the right path. Another reward is clarity of vision. Once the fog of anger and bitterness is gone, your purpose becomes visible. You start to dream again. You start to create again. You remember who you are and what you came here to do. Forgiveness gives you back the pieces of your soul that pain once scattered. You become whole, and in that wholeness you find courage to chase your divine calling. Perhaps the greatest reward of all is the transformation of your story. What was once your greatest pain becomes your greatest ministry. What once brought tears will now bring wisdom. What once felt like defeat will now become your victory anthem. You will be able to help others because you have walked the path yourself. Your life becomes proof that healing is possible, and that love is always stronger than hate. As a healer, you will live lighter. You will rest deeper. You will love more freely. You will speak with grace, and your presence will carry healing. This is your divine inheritance. This is what awaits those who choose to forgive and rise. So do not be afraid of the process. Healing is hard, but it is holy. Forgiveness is challenging, but it is divine. And when you choose to walk this sacred path, you will be rewarded, not only with inner peace, but with a new life, a new strength, and a new purpose. Heaven honors the one who heals. The universe supports the one who forgives. And life opens its arms to the one who lets go of pain and chooses love instead. That is what awaits you, the healer. Listen closely, beloved soul. This is not a coincidence. You have been divinely guided to hear this message at this exact moment in your life. What your heart has been silently searching for is now being revealed. The path of healing, peace, and restoration is unfolding before you. And the key to this new journey is forgiveness. Heaven is watching you with great love and hope. The pain you have carried was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to awaken you. And now that you have heard the truth, a divine shift has begun. What was once broken in your spirit is now being made whole. What was once heavy in your heart is now being lifted. The chains are falling. The light is rising. You are not who you used to be. You are being transformed from within. I speak this over you now. You are chosen for healing. You are chosen for peace. You are chosen for restoration. And your time is now. God is preparing to pour blessings into your life that your past pain tried to block. But now that you have released it, you are ready. The reward is on its way. The joy is returning. The new life is beginning. If this message has touched your heart, then honor it. Help spread this light, like this message, to bless your spirit. Comment the number 99 below to seal and amplify the energy of this moment. Subscribe and share this with someone who needs healing. This is your sign. This is your moment. This is your divine beginning. You are loved. You are guided. And your healing has already begun.